Hi, everyone. How are you? I think you can see me. Yes, my video is on. So I'm going to, just keep my screen like this. So how are you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Happy, what's today? Is today Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. And today's the first day of the 3-day wellness workshops I'm going to be hosting this week. Today we're going to be talking about mindset and beliefs specifically. So if you don't know me already, I'm Cynthia Ray. I'm a registered dietitian and fitness specialist. I also have a master's degree in public health and health education. But besides all that, I have a passion for understanding behavior, for kind of knowing why we do what we do and what drives us, and how ultimately to make long-term change that's desirable for each one of you. I know each person has their own goals and their own vision for their health and wellness. And what I want to do is help you to figure out ways how to get there and to keep it. So probably one of the most complicated, probably most challenging things that my clients usually struggle with is keeping things going, to have consistency with their workouts, consistency with their nutrition for what they're looking for specifically. So again, what I want to do is help you and guide you to be able to gain that consistency, or even maybe give yourself a little bit of grace when it's due to yourself. So what I want to discuss today is mindset and belief specifically. However, as I'm learning from my friend SoFeya, she's actually here with us today. She has a master's degree in spiritual psychology, and she's going to be sharing with us a little bit more of a deeper level of mindset and beliefs than I currently know. So I love learning. I love understanding the deeper issues that come along with what I know at surface level as a dietitian, but like to call on friends who are well educated in these areas to help us dive a little bit deeper. So let me start out today with a little bit of I guess, a meditation, kind of a mindset reset. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to teach you a little bit about mindset and beliefs, and then have SoFeya share with us a deeper level of understanding for this. All right. So whether you're watching this recorded or live, go ahead and follow along with me. What I'd like you to do before we get started is go ahead and get comfortable wherever you're sitting, or even if you're standing and doing something, take a little pause and just close your eyes for a minute and imagine with me as I read to you this story. So imagine that you're feeling light, fit, strong, and free to move as you wish, confident in your body, standing tall, easily slipping into and looking great in your favorite outfits, knowing that you can wear whatever you want in your closet at any time with a perfect fit, enjoying fresh, whole, colorful food and your favorite treats when you crave them, enjoying them with pleasure and guilt removed. You're in awe of your beauty and give yourself grace when needed and make changes as needed to be at your best. You enjoy going on scenic hikes with the fresh feeling of the cool air brushing against your face, or being in awe of the nature that surrounds you. Maybe even going on walks with friends, enjoying bonding conversation. You're full of energy, life, vitality, and have a mindset of wellness, love, and life. Living life abundantly, ready for anything because you can move easily and have stamina. Treating your body with love and care, and resting it when it needs rest, and moving it when the opportunity or desire arises because it just feels so good. This can be the picture of your health at any age. It is making daily and moment by moment choices that will contribute to your overall wellness. On the other hand, you can also imagine you aging in a walker or wheelchair, unable to easily get up and down. You have limited options to fully enjoy life, but you do have a choice. Think of people like Jack Lalanne. You guys know Jack Lalanne, remember him? He was one of those elderly people that was living out life to its fullest. He stayed active. He was always doing something. He's always challenging his body. And I think also of people who are elderly, who are out there golfing, who are hiking, going for walks, doing strength training, they're skiing, going for bike rides, and just living their life with their families, their grandkids, playing with them. But I always wonder, how are they different from the average population? So what really is the average population these days of elderly people? And you get to decide how it is that you want to live your life now and how that will contribute to your future wellness. So would you rather have what I described at the beginning, of feeling full of life, full of vitality, energy, enjoying life with your family? Or would you be okay with living with limited mobility and access to activities? So today, just want to give you a little preview, but today we're just going to dive into a little bit deeper of how to understand how our mindset and how our beliefs can make you or break you as far as your future. But SoFeya is going to teach us a little bit deeper on how these mindsets or beliefs affect our day-to-day life. Okay, so let me go ahead and move on here. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. Introduce. All right, so what I want to read to you first is a little quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, "Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny." So as you can see, it starts in his quote with your thoughts, and your thoughts ultimately can become your destiny. And I was talking to SoFeya a little bit earlier, and she was telling me that there's another level to this. It's not just about our thoughts and our beliefs and our physical actions and being, but there's a deeper level to this. So I'm going to go to our next quote, and I'm going to allow you, SoFeya, if you don't mind, to share with everyone how this takes what Ralph Waldo Emerson said to a next level. So go ahead and share. Welcome, SoFeya.
Hi guys, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm honored to be sharing with you. Thank you, Cynthia, for inviting me over.
Of course.
And sharing my passion for this. So here I want to kind of go over first the Emerson's quote that says that everything starts with our thoughts. And I want to actually bring you into thinking about the person who is thinking those thoughts. So it actually starts with you. And the question is, the biggest one is, who are you? Who is the one thinking these thoughts? The quote from the ancient Upanishads was, it's a philosophy that was born like before yoga, like 6,000 years ago. And this is a wonderful quote. You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. And here we begin our journey with the desire. And you are here watching this broadcast because there is some desire in you. There is something that activated you to watch this. And the key here is actually the desire as well as arising from you. And where is it actually coming from? Before the desire happens, there are emotions that are pulling you towards the desire. So if there is a desire to release some weight and be more healthy, it came from emotions about how you're feeling about yourself, how you're feeling about nutrition, how you're feeling about stuff. And what makes you feel this? Where do your emotions come from? The emotions come from your thoughts. And then your thoughts come from somewhere. And the thoughts come from the beliefs. And then we're going to go deeper to the beliefs. And I believe, Cynthia, you have that next slide about the beliefs.
You want me to go to that?
Okay. I kind of lost you. I don't see you for some reason.
Oh, it's
You
okay.
disappeared.
You can hear me though, right? You can hear me? Okay. Let me, whoops, hang on one sec. There we go.
Okay. So I love the idea here, right? That Billy Cox is saying our beliefs determine our actions, and it is our consistent actions that produce results.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great amount of truth in that, right? But what I want to say, while it's true, the trick here is that most people do not see their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And the beliefs actually do begin pretty much everything, sort of. Okay, at least this is where our journey to creating what we want in our life begins from. But we do not see our beliefs. But what we see is determined by our beliefs. And this is a big trick here. And I love the quote that goes after that: what you see, you become. So instead of like trying to figure out what are my beliefs, just look around you and see how you see the world. And you will see that you will see something. This is healthy, this is unhealthy, this is successful, this is not successful, this is a failure, this is a loser, this is a winner. I mean, all of these things is how we see the world. That is how we actually can identify what your beliefs are. Because if you're seeing a loser and someone else does not see the same person as a loser, what does that mean? Are we seeing the truth or not?
Right.
So that's the key thing about the beliefs. And so instead of going into those beliefs to begin with, we want to deal kind of identify what is it that we see? What do I see? And the next thing is, who is the seer? Who is the one seeing this? And who am I? Okay, so if you are seeing a failure, who is seeing the failure? What is the judgment and the belief about failure that you have?
What would an example of that be? How would somebody commonly, what would be a common thing that somebody might see as like being a failure that necessarily isn't? It's just
well, sometimes we see failure, like we'll look at someone, right, and we'll say, oh, this person is a loser, this person is a failure, right? This person is overweight, she doesn't have any control, she is a loser, and etc. Right? I mean, don't we, right? Or we see someone, whatever, so super skinny and whatever, like this, and then we judge them. Oh, this person is such a success and she is this and that. And the truth is, we have no idea about any one of these people, and we do not know the truth about them. And maybe the one who is very skinny and beautiful and everything feels like a loser, right? I mean, so this is very subjective. About what it is not truth. So that's the key thing in understanding of beliefs is beliefs by definition are not truth.
Right.
So if we're trying to fix something based on beliefs, then we're trying to fix an illusion, and then it becomes a very difficult thing to make changes because you can't change something that doesn't exist.
So when I was reading before that, so beliefs, I don't know if you agree, but I was reading that beliefs are formed when we're children. Most of our, at the bottom, most of our core beliefs are formed when we are children. And I was reading before too, it's formed when we are children based on the people that we respect the most or have the highest regard for or trust the most, like parents or teachers or people in authority. And then we create our beliefs based on those types of people. Is that still hold true, or how does that work?
Well, this is a good question because I actually have a great experience with that. For example, I grew up in the Soviet Union and I was a figure skater, and my coaches were calling me stupid, lazy pig. And I believed that I was stupid, lazy pig. So I adopted that as truth, and not just as truth. It wasn't even a belief, it became my identity. So this is when when a belief becomes so powerful, when it's not just a belief, it becomes part of your identity. So I identified with being stupid, lazy pig. And so you can imagine how the effort that I was putting into things, believing that I'm stupid, lazy pig, and this is who I am, and this will never change no matter what.
Right. So so that's the next step, right? So
well, I wanted to make the comparison here that I was called stupid, lazy pig, and so I believe that to be true. Now, what I didn't hear is that the other goals in my group were also called stupid, lazy pig, but I didn't hear that.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So the thing is, the coach that called me stupid, lazy pig, this is who she was, this is how she treated everyone. But because I believed that I was stupid, lazy pig, I did not hear that she did the same thing with others. So it was all about me. But you see, those other goals didn't believe that they were stupid, lazy pigs. And so they were always outperforming me. But she called us both the same.
So what's the difference? So how did they, who it lands on?
Well, I think it's kind of like, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's almost like an inborn thing.
Okay.
It's almost like we're born with this, with this tendency.
Right.
But one person is more believing this is who I am, and you can call this person you're an idiot and bully them and tell them whatever you want, and they're going to have that resilience and be like, you know what, just chill out. You're talking about yourself. That's not who I am, and it's not affecting me. And another person is already believing that. So it really doesn't necessarily come from someone else. It can completely come from inside of you.
Okay, right. And I know I'm thinking too, as I'm growing and maturing in this. So I'll just kind of give a little background about me too. So I struggled with my own self-esteem, and easily was one of those, just like you described, who easily took on what people said about me, and negative, not necessarily, and the positive I couldn't really accept because it was so hard for me to like, oh, compliments are, I'm good with compliments. I'm okay with them now. But before, it was like getting a compliment was scary. It's like, oh, you don't mean that about me. That's not true about me, you know? So I struggled with that a lot in my past too, and, you know, led to eating disorders and insecurities and exercise addiction, things like that. But a huge part of my recovery, this is why I'm really interested in this whole area of understanding psychology, because a huge part of my recovery was understanding that what I was doing with my behavior, with my, you know, eating disorder behavior, was behavior. And it was a symptom of the deeper issues that I was having, I was struggling with. So as I was able to go through my recovery program and through the years of therapy and things, really start to unwrap everything, and it's almost like unknotting things in a way, we're kind of knotted together, emotionally speaking, and really start to understand what actually was going on in my heart that needed to be healed and repaired. And then also getting to know me for the truth of who I am. Not what I thought I was because of what people had told me, or even what my parents modeled, you know, about being insecure around people, or being standoffish, or afraid of kind of like of the world in a way. So that's what they modeled to me. So I thought that was normal, and being insecure was normal. So, but now, like, you know, we talked about, you know, me growing and learning what I'm learning from SoFeya as well, about knowing my true identity and evolving in that. There's so much power, because once I actually know my true identity and I'm living it out and seeing it in different eyes, then what people say to me that doesn't match that doesn't make sense to me anymore, because it's like, well,
because you're no longer accepting being that. Whatever they see is no longer about you.
So that's what I was wondering. So for people to understand this, so if they're feeling like we're describing, like what people say, they kind of like sponge it up, you know, negatively. I'm thinking of ways how we could help them to get to the point of that, having that, knowing who you are and getting that sense of security. So whatever comes their way, they're not, you know, soaking in.
I think the key here is what we're trying to bring forward is that in today's society, we have those ideas that, oh, our beliefs and our personalities were formed because of these outside circumstances, because these people told us that you are not good enough for this and that, because of all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we're going to stay attached to that,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot change anything because they put that on you and that's it.
Right.
So, but the truth is, it was you to begin with from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because this, in this example, so perhaps you believed that it's because people told you you're not beautiful, you're fat, you're this and that, and you believe, well, I am that because that's what they're telling me.
Right.
But these people telling the same things to someone else, and that person didn't develop the eating disorder. You see?
Right.
So
Right.
if everyone who they were telling you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly became stupid, fat, and ugly, then we could say it's true. This is being created by these other people.
Right.
But since it doesn't happen to everyone and it just
Right.
happens to some,
Mm-hmm.
then it actually comes from within us.
Okay. So as far as kind of, so taking that idea and moving it into like wellness behavior. So I always tell my clients, you know, it's like, okay, let's say your friend did keto diet and then they just lost all this weight and you're excited and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to lose the weight. But let's say the person's like, oh, well, I did that, but my friend did it. She lost weight. I did it. I didn't lose any weight or maintained it. Right. So I always tell them, it's like, I always tell them, don't do your friend's diet because it's not necessarily going to work for you like it did for them. So it feels like there's so many factors that come into play with the different people. You know, it's like the outcomes. So I guess then they start feeling like a failure. It's like, oh, she did it, but my body is just, resilient when it comes to wanting to lose weight. And, I'm doing all the things, but nothing's changing. And that's kind of where I kind of wanted to look at mindset more too, because I'm wondering, well, there's physiological issues, of course, hormonal changes and all kinds of things that are different in everyone's bodies. But then what about like the mindset piece and the belief? What makes somebody different? Those two people different, one who, does something and succeeds at it for their success. And then one person who does the same thing, but has no success. And they feel like a failure.
Well, the part here that you're bringing in, like the mindset, I call mindset the mind wheel, and what I have discovered, the mind wheel is just a mechanism, and it's programmed to do exactly what it's programmed to do, and it's never wrong. So it's always doing the right thing because that's how it was programmed. Okay, and it connects dots. And the dots are event happens, or something happens in your life, okay? Some event happens, and whatever, something happened, and the way you are seeing the event, so that's a different thing because there are two things happens, the event and how you see it, which are two different things. Okay, if you do not see event for what it is, then it's your idea about the event and it's no longer true.
Okay.
And so the next thing that comes after that is thoughts. And you hear this all the time. People tell you change your thoughts, right? Well, your thoughts are absolutely accurate because they are following the beliefs that were not true.
Right. So this is all the things.
Okay, do you see now how it gets interesting, right?
Yeah.
So the thoughts are judgments. So what we're actually doing with our thoughts is we're not creating anything. It's just recycling. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. So it's just judging, trying to evaluate where this has to fall in. And it has to be in that place because you already were not seeing the truth.
Right.
So if you didn't see truth, there has to be some mechanism for discernment.
Right. To know the difference.
You see? So that's thoughts.
Right.
So the next thing after thoughts is emotions.
Okay.
And what emotions do, well, let's see. You're saying this is bad and terrible. How do you feel?
Ashamed or failure?
Okay. The natural reaction, right?
Guilty or whatever.
You're saying this is wrong. How do you feel? angry, right?
Right.
Okay, now this is so right, amazing. How do you feel?
Confident, excited, happy.
Excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you believe that you're supposed to lose weight, right, and you lose a pound, it's an event happened, you lose a pound. How do you see it? This is how it should be. It's great. Your thoughts are, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You have the next thing is your emotions. You're feeling all excited. Next thing is a desire. Okay, you're like, I'm going to wear like the shirt that is this little and a teeny mini skirt so everyone can see how sexy I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing, this is the action that I took because I wanted to show off. Okay, next thing, I am raped as a consequence.
Right.
Okay, so event happens. So what happens now? Now I see that losing weight is a dangerous thing. Okay, it's a very dangerous thing. This can happen. It's scary, etc. But the whole thing is the mind will just connect those dots. It did not create the rape. It did not create you losing weight. It did not create any of it. It just connected these dots.
Got it.
And okay. So the beliefs are important than that because you have to learn to see things for what they are. Because what if the rape just happened independently?
Anyway, right.
It just happened.
Right.
Okay. And you didn't see it associated with being skinny and looking good and being healthy. Your whole cycle would be completely different.
Right.
Okay. And whatever. And I'm just this just came in and I'm just throwing that in. But the key here is how you see the first thing. Okay, and then you understand that your thoughts are not negative or positive, which will always like change your thoughts. Your thoughts are affecting everything. Now the thoughts is just a feedback for how you were seeing right or wrong.
So it's the judgment of it.
The judgment, correct. So if your true thoughts should come into acceptance of what is and just being present with what's going on without any judgment.
That's huge. I remember in my recovery, that was a big part of our recovery. They would say, speak your truth without judgment or blame.
Well, this is all about truth. When you see truth, when you see event for what it is, okay, for example, I know this is going to sound outrageous, okay? But I'm going to say rape happened. And you don't judge it as bad. I know it's like, it's wrong, but think about this. If you just accept this, it just as is, it happened. Like rain happened.
Right.
Hurricane Ida happened. Okay, it just happened. You don't have to go into this is right. It shouldn't have been like this. If this hurricane should have took a different path.
It should, right?
You know what I mean, we can just go into nonstop of this, but does it create anything for you to do? You know, it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't change anything. Yeah.
It can't change anything. So it's just come into the presence of what is and just state it as is without judging it, that it shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have walked on that street. I shouldn't have wear that clothes. I shouldn't have been so skinny, or I should have been more watchful. I should, there is no end to it.
So what about, I know a lot of my clients also struggle with sugar. So, and the guilt, like I'm going to, for 40 days, I'm going to do a sugar fast. And I'm done with sugar. I can't do this anymore. It's too crazy. And then day 41, they're back into it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I just threw it all away. I guess the extreme thinking, right? The all or nothing. So that's judgment too, right? So that they're judging the occurrence.
Yes. I mean, anytime. So for the tip, at any time you're going to say it should or shouldn't, just know you're judging. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a belief. It's a belief immediately. It shouldn't be this way. It's a belief.
Okay.
It should be this way. It's a belief.
Okay.
So, and anything along those lines, when you use that language, your ears have to go.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So then how do our beliefs an issue or a foundational piece when it comes to struggling to stay consistent with exercise or stay consistent with eating healthfully? That's another one people struggle with is,
remember beliefs, the first thing comes, you see. Beliefs happens, this belief is around what you see. So you have to truly come into the place, what do I see? Okay. What am I seeing? Okay. Okay. And then after you ask yourself the question, what am I seeing? Ask yourself, is it true? Okay. What I see is true, or is it my belief? Okay. What is true is a fact. 2 + 2 is 4. Right. Is mathematics beautiful? That's a belief.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So then if I have been, let's say somebody says, okay, I've been exercising, I'm into it. I've been doing it for my 21-day challenge. I did it for 21 days, feeling great. Day 23, I just kind of fell off and stayed off, and now I need help getting back on. So
you're talking about falling off with the habit.
Yes. So yes.
Okay. Well,
with sugar too, that happens too.
Unfortunately, there are the teachings that they say you need to do things for 21 days, develop a habit. Right. Then the other teachings, like my teacher in Kundalini Yoga, would say 40 days to develop a habit. Yeah. Then the other teachings, 75 days to develop a habit, 90 days to develop a habit, 1,000 days to develop a habit. So how many days it is to develop a habit? Right. Okay. And the thing is, you can literally those people that were alcohol and drug addicted, they could be clean for 10 years. Right. And longer. And still fall back right where they were before. So did they not have enough time to change their habit? Obviously they did.
So if somebody really wants to do something and change something, but they're struggling to keep it going, what is usually what is getting in the way?
Who they are. They need to change their understanding about who they are. Okay. So they have to understand, who am I? And in this, I don't like to go like religious things, but sometimes it helps. Okay. And there's a quote that everyone's familiar with: what you sow shall you reap. Okay. And I love that quote because it's perfect to go with reaping is the result, right? And sowing is the habit that you put in. And so if you put the right habit in, then you're going to reap your results. Okay. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. And then some people would say, especially people that are more like on the religious side, and they're like, what do you mean it doesn't work? Like Jesus said, that means it's true. Right. I was like, he did say that. Right. And it's still not true. Why? It's not because what he said is not true. It's because there is a missing piece in the formula. Okay. And if you're not taking this piece into consideration, the formula does not work. Missing piece is you. Okay. So that is what you sow shall you reap. If you changes, the sowing and reaping changes as well.
So the you, as far as that means identity.
Correct.
Okay. So
if someone has identity, okay, I'm gonna. Sorry. I'm like, so let's say I'm a skater, okay? Okay. And I was a competitive skater, and I had habits, training. Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, training for 6-7 hours a day, ballet, weightlifting, etc. Eating the specific food, etc. And then together with me, at the same ring, with the same coach, another skater gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, does exactly the same things as I do. We do absolutely exactly the same things. We eat the same food. We have the same coach. We train with the same technique, the same number of hours. I'm stupid lazy pig, and this person is the queen of ice. Do you think we'll have different results or the same?
Different for sure.
So in just that one thing, okay, you see what you sow shall you reap does not apply if you do not pay attention to you. Because if you is a stupid lazy pig and someone else is a queen of success, you will have completely different results.
Okay, so it comes down to you. The
You
foundation
is the
is
key.
you.
Yes,
right? Okay.
you.
So, okay, so as we kind of start, I love this conversation, it's so good. So as we start kind of winding this down though, so what kinds of, now that we know that, that's foundational. So it's more about the you to make behavior change we're talking about.
Yes.
Like you reap what you sow. So what can people do? I mean, something practical, like what can we do now? Like now that we know that, now what do I do? You know, like now I want to do my work exercise, or I want to get off sugar, or I want to, I don't, whatever the goal is, lose some pounds, or I want to be able to break through my weight loss plateau. I'm doing everything I can, but nothing's changing. I'm frustrated, angry. What can somebody do to work on the you?
Well, first of all,
in order to make that change.
How do you feel about this you to begin with? Why does this you have to change what she is, start exercising, stop eating sugar? Why does she have to do that?
The why? I think it's a feeling of being out of control.
Okay, so what does it mean? Is she accepting of what she is, or is she thinks she is not good enough and she is bad?
Yeah, so definitely not accepting.
Okay, so right here we already have an issue.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay, so if you're judging yourself as being bad, and you're seeing yourself, so here comes my identity, I'm stupid, lazy pig, I'm not good enough.
So it's like matching. It's like almost reaffirming
that. Do you see now? I mean, it just begins right there. And now I'm going to punish myself and eliminate sugar from my diet, force myself to work out, do all of these things, like your mother used to do, to force you to do things because you are not good enough. And what did you do at the end? Did you rebel and said, "Fuck you, I'm going to do what I want to do"? Well, so here is your recipe of going back to the way you were before, after you forced yourself to do what you wanted to do. Because you are a loser and not good enough anyway. Boom. Do you see how that's okay? So here is a place to come, the first thing to come into the place and put your hands on your heart and acknowledge yourself for all of who you are. You had a difficult childhood. You struggled with all these challenges. There were these bullies. There was so many different things. There were so many impossible things that you couldn't do. How many of these things you have overcome? And no matter how nasty you were towards yourself, how much you punished yourself for being not good enough, for being lazy, for not being organized, for being overweight, for being out of control, for all of these things. And yet your body is still walking, your heart is beating, you're still breathing. And it shows up for you. It wakes up every morning and does all these things, no matter how horrible you're treating yourself.
I love doing that. I love that mind, just like, the gratitude with your body. I did that.
It's so perfect. It's been through so much and it survived all of it. And it keeps showing up for you. It's never walked out on you. It's always there.
Yeah, I love it.
And every time when someone asks you, what are you grateful for? You're grateful for your partners, for your friends, for your work, for your money, for all these different things. Who is the last person you are grateful for?
Self, body. Yeah.
And I'm not talking just the body. The body is there, but it's more than just the body. The soul within you that keeps being with you and loving you and cherishing you no matter what kind of body you're in. It pulls you to pieces.
It's that unconditional love that we have to tap into.
So I think before anything that you want to do, you have to stop and acknowledge and love yourself. And just really see and just think about this. Remember that little goal that you were, and how hard you worked to get the acknowledgement and love from your teachers, from your parents, from your mom. How hard you were doing anything you could to get them to tell you how wonderful you are, how good you are, how smart you are, how beautiful you are. And you would do anything for them. But instead, they always were like, this is not good enough, that's not good enough. And then you just got angry and mad, and you were like, fuck you. Fine, I'm just going to do everything opposite. And you continue doing that, except now it's no longer your mom. You are now an adult who's doing this to the young child. But what would happen if your mom was like, oh my gosh, honey, you're like, it's amazing. You're so amazing. I'm so proud of you. What if you just drop that sugar a little bit more? And oh my gosh, look how wonderful you're doing. You'd be like, oh, mom loves me. I want to know that. It's just as simple as that.
Love. I know, that's so cool. Yeah, just no matter what, it's still there. Like the love is still there, despite the stuff. It doesn't go away. It's a constant. Yeah.
Well, so this is the beginning of it. But the next thing is true that I know you probably all heard of affirmations. And we invite people, write them on the mirror, they keep saying it, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm good, I am this. And if we all know about these affirmations, then they should be working so perfectly, but why don't they work? Because you don't believe them. So you can't force your mind to believe something that is not true for you.
That's what I was looking for that slide here, but yeah, that's true. I know, because for a long time I thought, oh, well.
Yeah, well, because, well, you look at yourself and you like what you see in the mirror and you say, I'm beautiful. Sure, you believe that, it's cool. Okay, but if you don't believe that, or you can't just say, I am rich, I have a lot of money. Well, you don't.
Right.
And you don't think that you can trick your subconscious mind to going like, oh yeah, I have a lot of money. No, you don't have that. Okay. Yeah. And you can't force yourself to believe something that's not true.
Yeah, I was just briefly before we finish up, just looking at the slide about abundance versus scarcity mindset. So for me, I see those as just like a way of thinking. But this also comes from you, like the you, right? So how you think, if you're receiving, I call it living in the overflow. If you're always receiving all the abundance that you know you have, or if you're deciding to set limitations on that abundance.
Well, I see abundance altogether in a different way.
Okay.
And
so how would you see abundance? So according to what it says, abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset, because it seems like, well, I mean, you know, the whole thing with law of attraction, you know all about that stuff, but like, well, what do you do with the water and the
well, first of all, I mean, mindset, like I said, mindset is a mind wheel. It's just dots that connect. It's just lines that connect dots, and the dots are event happen, believe, how you see it, your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, the action, consequences, event happens. So I don't see any abundance in there.
Got it. Okay. So it's
the mindset is not abundance.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I would see what I see about of abundance is I see that abundance it's the quality of your core self. Abundance is who you are. You are abundance of cells, abundance of hair, abundance of thoughts, abundance of water inside of you. I mean, look around you and you will see that the source is abundance and there is nothing but abundance exists.
Okay.
And scarcity just doesn't exist, period.
Okay.
So if you're seeing scarcity, then what you're seeing is abundance of opportunities. How's that?
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Or you have abundance of empty space in your bank account. How's that? So
it's abundance either way. Like we're talking about success either way.
Always abundance. Always. Because there's nothing but abundance. But when you see, okay, there is a difference here between have, own, and be.
Okay.
So you have the gradation here, have, own, be. So, and there may be belief that when I have this, then I am this. Okay, which is false because God is abundance, not because God has something, because it just is.
The state of being. It's just
right. Sun is light.
Right.
Why? It's because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just it's like it's the substance of that, right? It's like
yes,
that's what it is. Yeah.
So do you see now this? So you can go into the place, I'm not good enough, I am this, I'm a failure, I'm this, or you step in into acknowledging I'm abundance, I want to be. For example, I'm abundance. Okay, well, we have it with emergence. I'm abundance. I'm unlimited abundance. I want. Now I'm saying I want because there is a trick. So I've created the formulas that work with this. I don't want to say fix. You do not need fixing. You just need understanding. No one needs fixing. Well, perfect. It's all designed perfectly, but it gives us an understanding of this, that we are an expression of the quality. And you want to grow in that expression. And this is why I'm not saying I'm unlimited abundance, kind of put it into like I'm saying I'm unlimited abundance. I want, because it gives me an opportunity to envision something more.
So how could okay, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking something. So how could, and I love that because I've done that and it's amazing, and how you create that, or it happens because for me it's I kind of think of it like setting an intention. Is that kind of a similar thing?
Yes.
So in a practical sense, would it be a good idea for people to start that way, to start out setting an intention and then using that throughout the day? Or what would you?
Well, this quote, I imagine it is an intention. That's why it actually stands for I am, imagine, magnetize, an intent. So it is an intention.
Okay.
And if you remember, I used that Upanishads quote, you are what your deep desire is. What is desire? Desire is an intention. So desire is an intention that hasn't been manifested yet. Okay, so the desire can be, it's just being a desire and it's just desire, but when you turn by desire into intention, it gets the focus, action towards something, but it's still a desire.
Right.
Okay, so it's just the intention is desire with focus, with going towards something. So, and who we are is actually an intention it's a quality and intention to grow higher in that. I lost you. So we have.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. You like disappeared. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry, my daughter was calling me. I didn't want her to distract us. But yeah, so yeah, it's just a matter, I just feel like, yeah, maybe what I can do tomorrow when I talk more about this is I'll share with them a little bit more about how to just encourage about setting the daily intention. And then if any of you guys who are watching this would like the recording of this, I can send you the replay. And then I'll also send you information about with SoFeya's program, which is we're trying to describe, but we're short on time. But as far as being intentional about setting intentions, so that way you can become, to grow in you, right? To grow you, so that you can do all of the things that you desire. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah.
So if you want the recording, we'll send it to you. And even if you're watching this, and I'll just send you information about this if you would like more. But it's this piece is so foundational to wellness, because it's knowing you is the person you're dealing with. So if you're struggling with the you, everything else is going to kind of not line up with what you're desiring. We have guests over. So anyway, yeah, so we'll share that with you and just get you the information that you need. And then also, hang on, hi, sorry, we have little guests running in the house. So yeah, so I just want to, and also encourage you all. I put out information about a wellness retreat that I'm having, or we're having actually, her and I are co-hosting October 8th and 9th here up here in Hayden Lake, Idaho, at this beautiful Hayden Lake Country Club. It's right on the lake. It's gorgeous, beautiful time to just get away and spend some time reflecting and growing in you, and knowing what you need to be doing to helping yourself create what the lifestyle that you want and the things that you need. But this is just a little taste of the things that we're going to be doing. But we're going to get a lot deeper, more information. I'll be talking also about nutrition basics, meal planning, just some really practical applications with nutrition, and also fitness. We'll be doing some exercise together and doing lots of heart work when it comes to behavior change and setting a good foundation for what you're looking for with wellness. So anyway, I hope I didn't cut you off. Are you good, SoFeya? I didn't cut you off. Are we good? And there's so much to talk about, and I wish we could stay here for hours.
Well, I just want to say that I want to add on the I mentioned.
Oh yeah.
To include was actually success, and this is I am success I want.
Okay.
And it's going to help you to step into that identity of success and allows you to do everything as success, rather than as your name that is used to all these good enough, not good enough, and actually stepping in that quality. And I mentioned is very simple. It's right here.
There we go.
So you'll get exactly that. So Cynthia will have information on how you can get that. You'll get a PDF of that and a little meditation, and you just cut it out. So you just cut this out, and it's so simple because it's a coaster. So you just put your water bottle on the coaster and charge your water on I'm success I want. So every time you're doing something, it's going to remind you, this is who I truly am.
Mm-hmm.
And to help you to think about, am I success at eating sugar or unlimited amount of sugar, or am I success at saying no, that I don't need that? Am I success at getting up and exercising, or am I success at sitting on the couch all day long? You get to choose what kind of success you want to be. But either way, you are success. Just remember that.
I love that. I know, that's like my favorite thing. Oh, can you see me still?
You frozen.
Oh, that's weird. I know, I'm looking at myself frozen.
Maybe
you can stop and start the video. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it'll come back. No, but I love that that idea. It should be coming up. Anyway, you can hear me. So yeah, and I
Yeah,
love
I
the
hear
idea
you.
of
I just can't see you.
and hopefully it's coming. I just love that idea of knowing that I'm success no matter what. And it's just that in itself is so uplifting, and so reassuring, and makes it easier to want to step into being the success that I actually want. Because either way, I'm success. Either way, I don't have to be concerned about it. But setting my intention to focus in on the success that I actually want is so cool. Anyway, so I hope you guys take advantage of this, because it's life-changing. I mean, I did it as my very first one, and it changed my perspective on so many things at so many levels.
This is how we connected to begin with.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So my video is bugging me. Okay, anyway. So yeah, so let's see here. Let me start it up again. Anyway, so I guess I can see you. But anyway, so thank you everybody for joining and participating. And tomorrow I'll be talking a little bit more about, I guess, what we talked about today, and just kind of reiterate some of the things she talked about, but also helping you to maybe start identifying some of the problem areas that you're dealing with, and finding solutions to those things with regard to what we talked about today. And then the third day, on Thursday, we're going to be talking about just practical things, just practical nutrition basics and meal planning. Totally different thing, but some practical things that you can do to implement in your day-to-day life. So anyway, thank you again, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, SoFeya, for joining us, and we'll see you at the retreat on October 8th.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.